G'day mate, welcome back to Dyson Sphere with me, Jitty. Yes, we have the sun rising over the gas giant in the background. I love Dyson Sphere. It is such a pretty game. But first off, this episode, we've got a bunch of things to do. Unfortunately, they're not going to involve green science or warpers. I'd like to do that, but there's a certain amount of prep work I need to do first. So, first things first. I am standing on top of the lovely accumulator making machine that is finally turned on because I have finally enabled exporting of the supermagnetic rings onto the belt, which has started making blue belts. So we now have a tiny bit of blue belt, not a lot. I don't need a lot because honestly we can't afford to use it yet. Also have started running the wrong machine, that one. The lovely orbital collectors, because we're going to need some of those. I'd love to get 40 of them, which is how many are required to cover our gas giant, but that's something we're going to possibly do this episode, more likely the next episode. The other thing that we want to do this episode is I want to run away and join the circus, but after joining the circus, I think we want to go to Lava Planet. Has a lot of iron. No, we want to go to our tightly locked planet because we have a couple of shortages, like a lot of shortages. Actually, this is a prime example. We are trying to bring in the electromagnetic turbines here to make the peak particle containers to then go on to make the interstellar logistics station, okay, and also the orbital collector, and planetary logistics station and the interstellar logistics station. But as you can see, we're just not getting enough of these green motors in. And the main reason we're not is, well, we just don't make them. Right? We don't make them fast enough. We have one little build over here, which unfortunately is spending half its time putting them into a local tower to then get shipped across the planet, and half its time also trying to make the blue supermagnetic rings that aren't having quite enough magnets fed into them because, well, look, everything's running a little bit short, okay? That's really the bottom line. Everything is a little bit choked off. So what we're going to be doing this episode is we're actually, like I said, flying out to our tightly locked planet and getting a bunch of stuff automated on this planet. I'm trying to finish off the amount of iron that we have on this planet. At the same time, I'd like to make a little blueprint that we can copy and paste and put on other planets. But that's going to be our plan when we get there. At the same time, I have a brand new blueprint, a very, very important blueprint, which I want to share with you guys, that we'll probably be throwing down towards the end of the episode. At the same time, I am sick of trying to pronounce the names of these planets. So as soon as we get warp technology and we can actually get to a whole new star, because we're very, 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 very short on silicon. As soon as we get to a new star, I would really, really, really like to be done with the names that we're using, swap over to some brand new names, and for that we're going to be using the lovely new supporters of the channel, those that are choosing to support our new goal for 2022 being an ad-free 2022. That's really high on my goal list, and to do that, what I'm doing is I'm asking you guys to support the channel. I've removed all ads from the channel. Pretty much, there's normally an ad at the start of the video, occasionally at the end of the video if I forget to turn them off. But apart from that, the channel is ad-free, and all I ask is, hey, if you enjoy the fact that we're running ad-free, consider supporting the channel, either through Patreon or through the YouTube membership. Button is right beside the subscribe button, which you should have clicked by now. And at the same time, you probably should click the like button. No, not happy with this already. So what I want to do is we want to make electromagnetic turbines. So electromagnetic turbines require two ingredients. They require the electric motors. They also require the magnetic coils. Okay, so I want to make magnetic coils which require magnets. They also require copper. Also want to make the electric motors which require iron, and plus they require gears. So off the top of my list, I need to probably upgrade that belt. We're gonna need we're gonna need 12. Well, I actually need 12 smelters, but we're gonna build 12 smelters. Okay, because we can run a full belt of 12 to get all our production lined up. Am I going to loop that up and back? We're making this up as we go, which is half the fun. Actually, let's put everything on the other side of the belt. That'll give us a bit more room to wiggle and think. Okay, so production. Smelters. We're going to go with a production line of 12, like I said. Okay, and then we're going to have an output line of iron plate. In, out. Okay, there's one other thing I need to do. And that is my proliferator line comes from that coal, which is 147,000. Oh, we only have 147,000 on planet. Okay, new plan. New plan. I like changing the plans on the fly. Iron ore. Oh, you won't fit. Okay, alright. What we're going to be doing, new plan, is we're going to come up to here. And this proliferator build, okay? Wonderful proliferator build is currently proliferating our silicon to make silicon, no, crystal, what are they called? Crystal silicon, okay? But what I'd like to do is I'd like to make sure it doesn't run out. That's very, very important. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a tower. We're going to plug you in. Let's build it here. That way it's over the equator line. That's some titanium. Let's get in my way. No, you know what? Let's go up the planet. Then do I put a splitter on the proliferator line? Yeah, let's put a splitter on the proliferator line. Put you right there. Okay, so something I've done on the home planet is I have started putting coal into towers. So we're going to put in some big shippies. I'm going to remote in some coal. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring out our coal. And I'm going to bring it to here, and then here, and then sideload it. And the reason I want to sideload it is I want to make sure we burn through this coal first, but I don't want the coal line to run out, okay? Because we're using it to proliferate things that are sort of important. So I want to make sure I have a backup line of coal, which is the very first thing we've done. So this is going to get the coal in. Once the coal gets in, it shall then be... come on, bots. It shall then make sure that this line will never run out. Next thing we're going to need is we're going to need some of that iron ore. The iron ore that we were just looking at. And we're going to fly that across the planet. Not really the best thing for power, but it's fine. Also want to put in a splitter. Sure. Like so. Okay. So we now have a splitter, so we can split off our proliferator. We're going to bring in the iron ore. I'm going to put in little shippies. Hey, there we go. Strange banner is around research. Oh, research. I should mention research really quickly. We have just finished a miniature particle collider. Okay, that's required to make strange matter, which is then required to make the gravitational wave refraction, i.e. the graviton lens. Graviton lenses are required to make warpers. After we've done that, we're then jumping on to purple science, and this is when I'm actually doing purple science. So we're going to be unlocking more storage for Icarus. His power, is it listed here? Mecha core level. Okay. Currently we can store 780 megajoules worth of power. This is going to add another 800 megajoules. So it will effectively double our little battery down here. At the same time, we're then going to get fuel power, so we're going to actually recharge the batteries faster. Then we're going to go for more drones, then faster drones, and then Icarus is going to move a little bit faster. And can I get more drones? I don't think I can. No, and then we start jumping into purple science. We're also going to grab the next universe exploration, and the ships get upgrades, requires drive engine 4. Okay, which I'm intentionally not doing just yet. But we get that one and potentially that one. Oh, hang on. Do we have one of these I should be getting? Oh, we have one of these we should be. Let's do that. And that. Okay, alright, so that's what we're going to be doing research-wise. Hang on, let's turn on the lights. There we go. Now we can see what we're doing. Alright, so like I said, I want to make these. So to do that, we're going to need some copper, which is nowhere near me, but that's okay. We'll just plug it into that tower and fly it across the map. We want iron. I'm going to bring iron out on the middle belt. I'm going to run it, I don't know how long. We're going to go with production. I'm going to go with furnaces, smelters. We want a production line of 12, please. That's probably not going to work because I can't fit a sprayer in at the front. Rearrange things. We want a sprayer because we want to spray everything we can. That is part of sort of the goal of this playthrough. Spray everything I possibly can to cut down on the amount of machines. Although we're still early enough into the game, pretty much everything we're building we're going to end up ripping up at one stage or another because we're done with it. It's too slow, it's too old, it's run out of resources, whatever it happens to be, and therefore it shall be replaced. Okay, so we're going to make you do iron. We need 1 belt of iron. Well, 1 belt running at twice speed. We need 2 yellow belts worth of iron. That's going to be our first step. The other thing we're going to need is magnets. So we're going to bring out another belt worth of iron ore. We're going to bring that to here. And I want... We're going to go with 9 smelters. 9 smelters should be plenty doing magnets. Are they around the right way? They are around the right way. Excellent. Actually, you don't need Mark II sorters. Oh, I should probably change that recipe. Magnets. Okay, so we've got our magnets. We've got our plate. I need to have another... No, that's a hard fail. Okay. Alright, our next belt is... We're going to use Mark 1 belt because I didn't bring a lot of Mark 2 belt with me. Is going to be... No, stop it. Number 3 is going to be copper. And actually... How am I going to do this? We'll bring copper up to here with an output belt. Alright. Copper needs yet another spray coater right there. We're going to grab that belt, bring it up, and plug it in there. Can I... Please. There we go. Straight belt. Alright. Pop that there. Change your recipe to be copper. And actually, let's set this up properly with Mark 1 sorters on both sides. Okay. We want you to do 6. Okay, so that gives us our copper, which I just need to get copper, physically get copper, and plug it into the first tower, and then we'll start shipping across to this tower. We'll set this up to do copper. Local demand. Yeah, we can start that one up, and it will start moving stuff across. We're going to set that to 100%, because I don't want drones leaving unless they get a full load. Okay. Step 1. Step 2 is we need to make the magnetic coils to then make the electric motors. So we're going to come from here. We're going to go 1, 2... How many machines do I want? I want 4. 4 machines. No. No. We want that to come through to here, and that come through here, because I need to spray everything. Sprayer there, sprayer there. Okay. Grab the belt out of there. Bring it up a tile. Yes, that's totally where I want to put that belt. Hey! So now we have the ability to make warpers. Okay, when you want to come up, I want to come to that tile, and then through those two to spray both of them. Alright. No. No, we're going to move our sprayers to here and here. Because I'm going to do our spraying for our iron there as well. Perfect. Alright. Cancel. Change my mind. This is the fun we're building on the fly. I just made a blueprint. What fun would that be? Okay, there into there. Alright, so next production line is going to be... I should be able to put that there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 machines. And then hopefully I have enough room on the inside for an output. And then I also need 3 machines, 4 machines as well, doing gears. So you guys are going to be doing gears. The other ones are going to be doing magnetic coils, which means the magnet belt actually stops right there, along with the copper belt. Copper belt stops there as well. Iron belt keeps going for a little bit longer. It's already sprayed, so I don't need to respray that. I will need to spray this belt and this belt. That is so not what I wanted. Okay, so let's set some recipes. You are going to be making gears, please, sir. We're going to have you input and output. I'm going to drag that to there. We're going to have you guys making magnetic coils, which is 2 magnets to 1 bit of copper. The magnets are on the closer belt, so using a slow sorter is more than enough. I have kept, so far this playthrough, I have kept the slow sorters for just about everything. And the main reasoning behind that is, if I make a blueprint available, I want to make sure it works early game. Now, there is a number of blueprints I'd like to, and I'm going to be updating and making a more friendly version, pretty much for speed running. Like, not quite for speed running, but a simpler version. What I'd like to call a black box, you know. It's as basic as possible. You whack them down, they just magically get things done. Okay, so now we have iron plate that has been proliferated. We're going to have gears that have been proliferated, plus we're going to have the magnetic coils after I hook up the copper. They're all going to be proliferated. We then want to make the actual engines, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 machines. We made a build very, very similar to this previously on our home world. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go in, and then after we've made our electric motors, the next step is going to be the electromagnetic turbines, which require more of the magnetic coils, which we've already made. Plus, it's going to require the electric motors that we're making right now. So what I want to do is I'm going to have an output belt on this side. And you guys are going to be outputting all the way over here. I'm going to drag this from there to there. I'm going to throw power poles at the problem. 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to extend that belt out a little bit. That belt out a little bit. I'm going to grab our spray coater. Put it all the way down here on out. Oh, actually, no. No, what we're going to do... Do I have enough room? Okay. We're going to move the spray coaters... Oh, you collide? Really? Everybody needs to move down one. Alright, I'm going to take that, I'm going to plug it into all 3 of those. Okay. Hey! Look, our battery just got doubled. Excellent. Okay. I need to... That one, I want to remove facilities only. Facilities only. Thank you. Probably should have picked up one of those because it already had the sorters marked for the right belts. Okay. Input, output, input, change recipe to do engines. And then I wanted 8 of them, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. done and dusted. They're going to output to the left through the sprayer to proliferate them. There, and there. And then our magnets plus our brand new motors are going to come down here. And then we're going to have 5 machines. 5 machines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. 5 machines like so, which are going to be making these things. And we're actually going to have them output onto a belt here, which... No. Move belts. Have them output onto a belt this side. Actually, we're well past the point of using Mark 1 belt. Okay, so output, drag, drop. Now this is going to be non-proliferated. So when it comes to proliferating, honestly, I'd like to proliferate everything. Okay, that's my grand plan. Realistically, I want to proliferate wherever possible things before they're input into the next production line. Because there's going to be occasionally where things are going into a production line where they can't be proliferated. Prime example is we've just set up to start making the orbital collectors. As you can see, this particular recipe can only be sped up. You can't get extra production out of it. The interstellar logistics station, you can only get speed up. You can't get extra productivity. So I don't see any reason in speeding up those two manufacturers. The planetary logistics station, that one I can get extra products out of. You're going to see this fairly regularly when we put down the next version of my wonderful workshop. Most items, all items are not proliferated because a lot of items they either have speed only, or honestly I couldn't work out how to get the belts in there nicely. Okay, I have some coal that we're going to throw in there. I have some magnets which we're going to throw into that machine. Excellent. Okay, so all I need to do is I need to tap some copper and fit it into this tower. And once it's fed into that tower, it should get the other tower up and running. So copper, copper, more copper, more copper, more copper, more copper, all the copper, extra copper. Okay, belts. I'm going to use the Mark II belt so we're not going to have any problems with throughput. Put that to that tile and in. Plug that in there. That in there. That's 4 on one side of the belt. Can I grab wind turbines, please? Drag that up. Drag that. Come on. Across, I said. Into that gap as well. Too close. Why am I running out of power? Oh, I'm out of fuel. That explains why I'm out of power. Okay. There, 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 and there. Okay. You, there and there. Plug that in, that in, that in, and that in. Okay, so that should get that up and running. You should be getting in copper ore. And oh look, I got a bunch of inventory. Okay, so we can put that in there, which then should launch some little drones across to here, which should drop off the copper, which is what we're looking for. The copper should then start flowing into here, be proliferated as it goes through. The ore is definitely being proliferated. And can I grab wind turbines? Now, whilst we wait, we might just throw 300 wind turbines at the problem. Okay, so that's been proliferated. It's coming here. We are... Oh, no, you can't output fast. Really? Well, you know what? We can fix that. Not an issue. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, you can't get input fast enough. Okay, well, we'll upgrade that one as well. Okay, you're doing great. Alright, so we're making magnetic coils, which are going on a belt. It's a Mark 1 belt swapping into a Mark 2 belt. Honestly, that's perfectly fine. Oh, actually, it's not. We're producing just over 6. You know what? We'll just upgrade the belt to Mark 2, and that shall totally solve that problem. We come down now. Excellent. And around the planet a bit more. There and there. Okay. So, we're making those, we're making gears, we're making, the magnetic coils. We are then fully proliferated, making electric motors, which are then being bounced out to this belt and flowing down here, which then means these guys are getting 2 proliferated products back and are making, what are these? The electromagnetic turbines. And if we bring up the production local planet last 1 minute, we should be making just over 2 per second. Okay, that was my grand goal. Make 2 per second, and then these are coming up and they're being plugged into this tower. All I need to do is enable a slot for them. And I'm not going to cap this, okay? I'm not going to cap this at all for a number of reasons. The number one reason being I don't actually want any iron left on this planet. I really want to get rid of all the iron on this planet because I have a habit of making smelting planets. And all the resources I can clear off, the more resources I can clear off this planet before I start putting down smelters, the better. Because there's resources everywhere, and I prefer not to have to work around them. And the only way to do that is clear off the resources by probably mining them a lot. But we have set up a backup coal here, so when this runs out, it shall be perfectly fine. And I believe I don't have a spare. Oh, really? I thought I had a box for... Okay, you can now have a box for... Stone. Okay, but I do have a spot to throw silicon into there. Oh, I do have a box for stone. Never mind. I thought I had a box for stone. One smelter that could. Slowly. Ever so slowly. Alright, so that fixes that problem. Next thing I want to do is Jetty's Construction Hub. Jetty's Construction Hub has 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as you may have seen. Makes the lovely construction hub we have back at base. On top of that, it also has one with just assemblers, so you can paste it over the existing smelters, the assemblers, to set recipes. Okay. One thing it doesn't have is a lot of late game stuff. So the geothermal power station, which I would have loved to have put in the original one, it's just a lot of the items aren't made there. Mainly the photon combiners, the mini fusion power plant, the energy exchanger, the ray receiver. A lot of these items are more late game. The spray coater, I'd love to have the spray coater in there as well. But again, it's using items that aren't really in the existing workshop, and there's no good way of getting them in there. Trust me, I've tried. It can be done, but it turns into a dog's breakfast. I'd prefer to avoid that. So what I've done is I've made a new blueprint, which we need to go up to, down to, up to. We need to go towards the South Pole, okay? Because on the South Pole, we are going to build the next version of the workshop. So Jetty's Construction Hub 2.0, open up this bad boy. And what we have here, and this is going to be very, very important, what I want to do is I want to aim for one of those dark white lines and click the OK button. And this is the next version of the workshop, okay? This is going to do all our late game stuff. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up power to it. And then I'm probably going to fast forward through time to get this done, because it's not going to be quick to build. There's a lot of material here. There is 1,314 items, entities that have to be built. So first thing I want to do is try and get the power running from A to B to C. That way I can stand here and hopefully recharge. The other thing it's going to do is it's going to absolutely decimate the power on this planet, because each one of these towers is going down and they hold like 9 gigajoules worth of power, which means they have to charge. And as you can see, the charge rate for each of these has been set to 30 megawatts. But even then, there is, how many lots of 30 megawatts? 14 lots of 30 megawatts to get up and running. So it's going to take a hot minute to get this built. It's going to take even a hotter minute to get these all fully charged. We don't need them fully charged. In fact, at the moment, we're basically building it so we have it up and available. There are certain things I'd like to turn on. There are certain things I can't turn on just yet. But this is going to be making a lot of our late game stuff. For example, the sprayers, the energy exchanges. Somewhere around here is the pump. But what we're going to do is we're going to jump forward in time. I'm going to get this built. I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright, we've got everything built, and we're actually going to start over here at solar panels. Solar panels is basically where the blueprint starts. Now, being that it's a round blueprint, technically every spot is the corner and a start, and every spot is not a corner and a start. But you know, this is the first. When I originally made the blueprint, this is the first tower I chose. We started here. So, first off, we can see we are making a lot of things that I haven't made already. Okay, solar panels being number one. I've had lots of people say, Jenny, you should make solar panels no matter what. They're now made. Okay, I do admit I do use them. I use them as a kickstart in certain situations, but you know, they're now automated. So, when it comes to these towers, every one of these towers is set up to do nothing to start with. That's very, very important. They're set to charge as slowly as possible, and they are set to have a 10% load for vessels. Okay. They're also set to bring in all the items and have 200. Okay, 200 is all we're looking for out of each of these towers. Also, this particular tower is special because it's designed to bring in space warpers. It's also made sure that the output is set to 200 as well, capped to 200, because as we proceed through the tech, our vessels will eventually carry, if we can look under this, mine are currently carrying 400 items, but eventually they cap out at 2,000 items when we finally finish the last of the tech. And 10% of 2,000 is 200. So they're all set to a very, very minimum of 200. So therefore, even if you forget to change some of these settings, they'll still work at the very, very late stage of the game. By all means, you can tweak these settings down to 100 if you want. But unfortunately, you can't set it lower than 100. On top of that, every single one has a box right here that's set to 1 stack. This is like a buffer. So what can happen is you can stack up, in the case of the tower, 200 plus solar panels stacking 50. So you can stack an extra 50 in here. And then when the first 200 disappear, the first 50 just get fed straight in, and the assembler has enough, hopefully enough time to make another 150 before you need to request more. By all means, you can upgrade the assemblers, you can upgrade the belts, everything's done with Mark 1, because I guarantee at this stage of the game, you have Mark 1 assemblers at least. Obviously, you've probably got Mark 2s, but you know, you may or may not be using them. By all means, you can go through, put it down and then use the upgrade planner even on ghosted items, and just upgrade them to Mark 2 or Mark 3, whatever your preference is. But solar panels are also warpers. So warpers we're going to cover first. Warpers intentionally get pulled out of this tower, slot number 4, and come into this tower. And as you can see, warpers go in. If we bring up this tower, we cannot see warpers here. Because after you unlock warp technology, which we technically have, although our towers can't use them yet, you end up with a 6th slot. Okay, the 6th slot is reserved for warpers only. So we're bringing out warpers here, and then we're bringing out warpers out of here via the 6th slot. And it's being passed from tower to tower to tower all the way around the circle before it's being fed into the internal circle and fed around the last 4 towers. So that's very, very important. Every one of these towers is warp capable after you get warpers up and running. Next thing is we're going to cover what's actually made here. So as I said, solar panels. Then we have the Orbital launch station. Now, a lot of these, when you first paste them down, are not going to have the recipe set. I should mention that because you may, like me, not be able to access the Orbital launch facility, whatever this is called. Vertical launch silo. Yes, you can't access the rocket silos, but because I'm running a mod, it puts the recipes in. It's a mod I've chosen to keep, so I can explain these sorts of things to you, and you can see the recipe on the machine. But you may notice that there's a marker right here, and every single one of these has that has an output, has a marker right there, so you can see exactly what the recipe should be for this machine once you unlock the technology. So, as you can see, we're bringing in all the requirement items, 200 at a time, to make silos. We also have, and this is the reason we put down this blueprint, I need to make miniature particle colliders. We can see we have a lovely machine here that is going to make the particle colliders. It's going to bring in, because the particle collider requires 5 items, it actually brings in 1 from the neighboring tower, which gets fed in here first, and then over to here. And same with the next item, also requires 5 items. So we have the titanium alloy gets fed out of this tower and then into the next machine as well. You know, is doing double duty. Anyway, we have our vertical launch silos. We have the advanced miner. We have water pumps, because as I said, water pumps use 50 on the home planet, and then you don't really touch them until you go interplanetary. You have warpers and all sorts of things. Normally you go off-site to get sulfuric acid. So that's going to be high on our list of things that we're going to want to get. Therefore, they are 100% automated. Next up is going to be the sprayer units, which, you know, does require, as you can see, these are the items that are required to be brought in. And that shall make those, including making the, what are they called? The plasma exciter on site, which brings in magnetic coils from this one around the back to, you know, get it up and running. We have the fusion power plant. We have the plane smelters. Plane smelters requiring the rare resource unipolar magnets, which you're only going to find around a black hole or a neutron star. So super late game stuff, but at least they're automated. Okay, whack down the blueprint, they're automated, you can worry about them later. Next up is going to be the geothermal power plants, which does require the photon combiners, which are made on site. Also, the ray receivers also require the photon combiners. As you can see, they're made on site as well. And then back to solar panels. And then the inside line, we have the automatic piler, because that's technically what it's called. I don't agree with the name, but it's technically what it's called. Next up, we have the EM rail ejector. We also have the energy exchanger. And finally, we have the artificial suns. So that is this particular build. And as we can see from the power, it's doing horrible. Absolutely horrible. But we can also see these towers are charging up. And as they're charging, the amount of charging they're doing is going down. Where do we start? Where's my wind power that's linked in? Wind power's here. So this was the first one put down. Because it's 5.7, 5.69, so on and so forth. As we get more charge into them, they're going to start consuming less power. If you were the first, you were the last. Yeah, you're at 7, because you've got 3.4 gigajoules charge. You've got 5.81, so you're doing less charging. So that's the build. Now, you might notice that none of it's proliferated. And the exact reason being that, honestly, there wasn't room to fit in the proliferators for a lot of these items. 2, a lot of these items, when you try to proliferate them, you get just the speed up option. Not all of them get extra products. So it was a catch-22. You may find on my Discord server, which is where you'll find this particular blueprint, you may find at a future date, sometime in the future, I may redo the whole blueprint with a pre-proliferated version. But again, it doesn't stop you. If you wish to proliferate every single product before they get to being shipped out, technically it would mean probably everything was proliferated, except for maybe the few items we're actually making on site. And what I want to do is I want to drag wind turbines all the way around here so we can see it easily, hopefully from space. On top of that, there are a couple of wireless power towers in the middle for charging. Okay, I want that tile because the stone's in the way. Come on, bots. Lack of item. Well, we tried hard. Okay, alright, so that is this particular build. Now, am I going to do anything with this build this episode? No. No, what we did this episode is we did a whole bunch of research. We also managed to automate the hell out of the electromagnetic turbines, which means next episode when we duck home, these are now available in the network, okay, at a rate of 2 per second, which is good because we're going to definitely be using... we're running out of proliferator juice? No, we're just running out of juice because we're running out of power. Okay. Also means, very, very importantly, that yes, when we get home, we can start bringing them in. We're making them up here at 2 per second, because I do want to start working on our strange matter, which requires particle containers to make the strange matter, to then make the graviton lens. But particle containers require the green motor things that we didn't have enough of. But we've just automated them a little bit, so we should be better off for the next episode. The other thing it should hopefully do is mean we have more of the supermagnetic rings available on the home planet to make more of these, along with blue belt and all sorts of other things. But this, we're going to end it here for this episode, keep it a little bit short, because next episode, yeah, we've got to have a few things we need to do, including to actually get strange matter, it requires deuterium, which means we need to make a deuterium build, which means I need a crap ton of hydrogen, which means we're going to have to sort that out as well. Anyway, like I said, this is where I'm going to call it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next episode. And remember, blueprints are available on Discord all the time, okay? Link to Discord is always down in the description. And like I said, I will be start naming, as soon as we get warpers up and running, we start using them. I'm going to start naming new planets and new stars after new supporters of the channel. Those that wish to see the channel go ad-free. So if you'd like to have a planet, a star, either or named after you, by all means consider clicking the join button right beside the subscribe button, right beside the like button at the same time, or you can join on YouTube I'm really expensive, $1 per month, or if you prefer to get a whole 12 months of early access of videos up front and done with, you can always join on Patreon and pay the whole up front, get the whole 12 months worth, and be in and done. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next one. All right, bye.